Hey guys, welcome back to Vid-Bits. My name is Brian, aka Pops, hanging out with you with another episode of the Vid-Bits Spooktober. Nintendo decided to do something a little bit different, and for the people that have the Nintendo Switch Online program, they're offering game trials for a whole week. And one of the titles that you can trial for a week is called Vampire Survivors, so we're going to go ahead and do that. The cool thing about it is you're not limited as to how far you can get in the game, so you literally can finish the game if you want to. You have full access to this game. Cursed Golf, and there's another one. There's three titles available altogether. But yeah, you get access to those when you start the trial. You get access to those for a whole week, and you can finish them and get as far as you want in them. And then, yeah, which is crazy because most of the time when people do game trials or demos, they are limited to uh, a certain portion of the game or a very small amount of time to play the game. So to have complete access to the game and to be able to complete it is pretty interesting. But I'm always a sucker to try out new games, especially for free. And also, I'm really big in trying to take advantage of all the different things that my subscription services offer. So in this case, if they're going to throw a free trial down our way where we can finish the game, why not, right? I know nothing about this other than it's like a roguelike. Like I said, the heavy hitters will be coming here soon. We only have another week of this after today. So definitely got some good ones on the way. Get started here. Vampire Survivors. Alright. Let's just go ahead and start, I guess. Let's pick the guy with the whip. And start. Looks like the whip is coming out in its own intervals. I literally have no idea what I'm doing, so. Looks like the way I'm facing, I'm auto-whipping. Hey, Dre. Say the BCs get the gems level up. Alright. Seems to me like it's gonna be one of those simple affairs. I mean, there we go. Level up. Alright. So what we're gonna do here. You can choose new weapons with leveling up. Alright. Let's try the knife. Get the knife. I mean, I can definitely see how they could offer a game like this for free. I mean, I think it's only a $5 affair. So, I guess they figure if you start to like it a lot, then you'd be willing to throw the 5 on it. So, not particularly deep or anything. But, sometimes you just want something that's going to waste a little bit of time, like one of those simple score attack type things, or in this case, like, how long can you survive, probably. Yeah, not even $5. Nice. Alright, another level up. Let's get another knife here. You gotta think, man, like, there was a... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay. You guys suck. Yeah, I think back in like 1998, 1999, when Deer Hunter came out, like that game took 3 months to develop. It was basically a Walmart installed budget title, and it went on to sell a crap ton of titles because somebody wanted something simplistic. So, very addicted to do some small session for 30 minutes, Dre says. Nice. But, oh shit. But yeah, so like, you know, it's been 25 years where people found that, you know, you can find little bite-sized experiences or, you know, not have to have a multi-year development cycle to make a game that people will enjoy. So, oh wow. But yeah, if you're seeing this and you have a Nintendo Switch, you can download this trial for the next week. Check it out for yourself. I think the developer's name is Poncle. I think it was a single person that made this game. And there may be some people where this type of thing is not their cup of tea, you know. I know that this is, you know, reaching for Spooktober, but I mean, it said there's vampire in the title, and it looks like we're fighting the Legion of the Undead, so yeah. It may not be the most graphically intensive spookathon, so to speak, but yep, one guy, Dre says, one guy. That's neat. You know, the cool thing about one guy making this is you don't have to split that money a million ways. You know, if that guy put on all those long nights in coding this, you know, every copy he sells, he gets to reap the benefits of not having to split it with a large team, and also it's got to feel even better to know that you did it all yourself. But there's other games that are super successful that were done by one person. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Cave Story developed by one person? Maybe. So, in other news, how many of you guys are looking forward to the new Call of Duty Zombies coming out in a couple days? Gonna be interesting to see how that does. Hey, Game and Train. It's weird. It's like, this gives me like vibes of like, obviously it's not a twin stick shooter, but the whole just trying to find your like little way around the mobs kind of reminds me of like Super Smash TV a little bit. Kill things, collect the loot. Yeah, it's really kind of I don't know. It's a little bit therapeutic. It's not super, you know, super thought intensive, and I can just kind of like, you know, just mess around. Neat little time waster. Okay. But yeah, thank you very much to Nintendo for providing this opportunity for me to check out a game for free. I mean, they may not have like the most extensive demos, you know, but in this case, being able to unlock an entire game for free and mess around with it for a week, who knows? I may be so sad to see it go by the end of the week that they might throw down the $5, which is probably what they're hoping, you know. Also, I think this is getting some DLC that is tied to Castlevania, which is probably another reason why they're trying to get the exposure here. Like, if they get you on for free for a week, get you super hyped about it, and then the DLC for Castlevania comes out, you may not only get the game, but you may throw down on the DLC. So it's a smart move. Shit. I need some sort of food. Get out of here! Yep, this is the Castlevania DLC coming up. That was a metric F ton of money. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this 23rd episode of Vid-Bits Spooktober. Again, if you're new to the channel, we are playing a different game with some spooky elements or spooky theming every day for the month of October. Kind of like a sister project to our Game of Day May project, where every day for the month of May we play a different title. Last year we beat a different game every day. This year we just explored a different game every day. Feel free to check those out. If you're enjoying what you're seeing as far as this game goes, it is available for free download on a trial basis if you're a Nintendo Switch Online member. The trial unlocked today, and it goes through for the next 7 days. You can experience this game and a few other games in their entirety for 7 days, which is pretty cool. You can see that we are starting to get a little bit more intense enemies here. We got some, about the 10-minute mark, and we got some really deadly looking bats coming in. They definitely are taking a crap ton of damage, I'll tell you that. Oh shit, look at that huge praying mantis. Alright, enjoy the game, and one advice before I'm hitting the hay, garlic, 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 says Dre. Alright, I feel you, Dre. Thank you very much for hanging out, appreciate it. Garlic, garlic, garlic. God, that mantis is freaky. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me out. That little, circle wasn't starting to love me that much. Foods. I need foods. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! I really need some food. I'm looking for some turkey or some chicken or whatever it is. I need some turkey or some chicken. Ooh, everything died. No. 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 Don't touch it. There it is. There's my food. Leave my food alone. Oh my god, it didn't matter. Oh my god, that mantis. Oh, kill me! Game over. 13-19 for the first one. Not bad. Not bad. Got an achievement for destroying 20 sources. Got one for finding a rosary. Got one for reaching level 10. Got one for reaching level 5. Got one for surviving 1 minute. And surviving 10 minutes. And for destroying 20 light sources. Damn. Alright. Okay. So, let's see if we can start as a different character now. Oh, I have to buy them. Let's buy them. Confirm. Alright. Alright. He starts with the knife. I don't know if the whip was necessarily that good. Raises inflicted damage by 10%. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll tell you what, those giant praying mantises were creepy. I'll tell you, it wasn't easy to find 31 different games that had spooky elements or creepy or horror elements into it, so probably next year for Spooktober we will probably focus on maybe beating maybe 4 AAA titles. Maybe we'll try to do one a week for 4 weeks. You know, play some stuff in between, but that way get some of these AAA titles I'm sure you guys were wanting to see, because we're going to do some of them before the month's over. But we have a couple big ones was waiting for them to come out with that were on the release schedule for the end of the year. And unfortunately, we were waiting to get Dead Rising remastered physically, and even though it's available digitally, the physical version doesn't come out until next month, unfortunately. So that's probably why Braden just did the first one. But yeah, we got about a week left, so just to give you a little heads up, we have definitely plans to play the new Halloween and Ash vs. Evil Dead Retro Realms games. That'll be 2 of the days. Got a request to play Sweet Home, since that's considered by many, including the people that worked on Resident Evil, to be the precursor to the Resident Evil series. So I was able to hunt down a translation of Sweet Home, so we will definitely get into that. I looked into doing the first Megami Tensei game. I do have a translation version of Digital Devil's Story, which is the first Shin Megami game. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I don't know how interested you guys were watching me walk around in 3D rooms on Friday the 13th, but there's a lot of that in Shin Megami Tensei, or I'm sorry, Megami Tensei Digital Devil's Story for the Famicom. And it's just, I mean, I messed around with it for an hour to see as a proof of concept, and I just wasn't feeling it. I mean, there may be some super dedicated people that love it and would love to see it, but unfortunately we will not be doing that for Spooktober, just because I crawled around in there for a couple hours and I just was bored, and could not really feel like I could rustle some good content out of it, unfortunately. Not to say that it's not good for the people that enjoy it, you know, but Sweet Home will do. And I'll tell you, even though we're not doing it this year for Spooktober, but Majora's Mask is super creepy. Play Majora's Wave. Play Little Nightmares. What's up, Manny? I've heard some stuff about Little Nightmares. I don't think I own that in any form, unless it's on some sort of pass, something or other. Oh, don't go in there. I'm not gonna be able to get back out of there. Let me out! Let me out! Maybe the whip was good. I don't really feel like I'm doing a crap ton of damage with these knives, but I mean, I also been using my experience or my level ups for experience reasons. Can I get some state lore? No. Why are you so adamant about the state lore? It's been days, Manny. It's been days. Is it just because I know you're in Arizona? Is that what it is? Because I gave you the biggest hint I could give you. Tri-state. We live in a tri-state. That means the states that I'm in and the states around the state that I'm in all work together to create a harmonious tri-state alliance. There you go. This Manny the Mormon request for state lore is brought to you by Stranger Danger. Manny will never steal your social security information, though he may ask for the last 4 digits of your social security number. But he also wants to know where you live. For some reason. No, that mantis needs to leave me alone. Who do I look like, the real Jack Gaming? Oh god, I shouldn't have stood still. What about the fake Jack Gaming? Man, did you see that Sean the Great Gamer went viral today? The guy that was in our chat last night? Sean the Great Gamer? He got 16,000 views on his Santris video. It's insane, because he's like gravitating around the same numbers as I do sometimes, me and Bray, like 100, 200. And then all of a sudden 16,000 people watch his Santris video. It's just insane how that could happen, like out of nowhere. I hope he at least got a good sub bump from that. It's just good to see. It's good to see somebody else get some success. Even though I'm not the greatest at puzzle games, we'll take the success where we can get them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He freaking earned it, man. He's staying on his grind. I may not be the biggest puzzle game fan, but I'm sure there is an audience for there, especially after the guy just rebirthed Tetris. I'm sure, you know, there's a new appreciation for those games in general. I'm sure Alexei Pajanov is really happy for that. Considering the fact that he finally gets a piece of the pie after all these years, after being screwed for as long as he was. GameStop's actually partnering with this other company called Mod Retro, and they're making this thing called the Chromatic, which is basically like a Game Boy. It'll play Game Boy and Game Boy Color games, but also this new proprietary cartridge called Chromatic, which they're making new games for in 2024 and 2025. And it looks pretty cool. It's a $200 handheld, but it does connect to your TV, so you can output on your TV. So it's like, it's a different product than the Analog Pocket, but for $229, the Analog Pocket, I think, offers a little bit more. The only difference is you have to buy the dock separately. There's nothing to plug it into your TV. You have to buy a dock to display it on your TV. But it does play Game Boy Advance games and has all the FGPA, you know, stuff, so. But it's pretty neat to know that in 2024, 2025, there's a company that's making cartridges that are, you know, portable game cartridges, and they're going to be new games, so. Nobody realized that when the 3DS disappeared, that was it. You know, they didn't really say that they weren't making any more handhelds. They just started making the Switch Lite and the Switch, and they're like, there you go. So there definitely is a market for people that want to play handheld games. I'm dead. No, I'm not. But it's definitely interesting. The other thing I'll earn from YouTube is a lawsuit. The state of my mind, lore? Oh, I'll tell you the state of my mind. I'm all right. A little perturbed because I'm waiting on a delivery, but other than that, I'm alright. Bray's alright. Channel's alright. Had a successful couple days. Hopefully in the next day or so I get my sniper rifle in Destiny 2. That'll be alright. Got Call of Duty New Zombies coming out. We can at least lampoon and make fun of that because it's on Game Pass. That'll be alright. Got the new Retro Realms Ash vs. Evil Dead and Halloween games coming up. That'll be alright. I'll be right back. They push back your beaver onesie. What your was that your were you getting that Bucky's? Let's power up. Power up selection. Okay. Let's unlocks. Okay. Damn. Those are some huge ones. Starting with all the different characters. Let's see if this is even. Oh, excuse me. Going to go around to the shouties and yell, damn! Hell yeah. Shorties be damned. No big pool of bats. No. Manny the Beaver. Definitely got enough skeletons and bats to make this freaking spooky, that's for sure. Woo! Oh, Chris Jericho. Did he? Did he beat freaking Mark Briscoe? Are you serious? They put Jericho over Mark Briscoe. Are you serious, Manny?
That seems like a bad call in my opinion.
Like, Mark Briscoe is killing it. I mean, regardless of losing his brother and, like, being predominantly a tag team wrestler, like, he's a very entertaining character. He's probably one of the more entertaining characters they have. I just don't know what that does for Jericho. I don't know why that had to happen.
I am sick of them putting Jericho over anybody. Literally anyone. I hate Chris Jericho. I really do. AEW has made me hate Chris Jericho. I don't really give a shit.
It's not AEW's fault that he's
but, like, the way he's been booked in AEW is just not fun to watch. Like, you watch him in WWE and he's great when he's younger and stuff, and now it's like, now he's Hogan. He is Hulk Hogan now. He's the guy who's refusing to leave and letting any of the new younger talent get any sort of exposure. Chris Jericho is being the new Hulk Hogan.
He's about to sign one of his most lucrative contracts ever, too.
What more is he going to provide value-wise for any sort of promotion?
He's, you know, putting over all the young people by beating Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor title. Look at all the people he's putting over. He put over Orange Cassidy.
Bro, Chris isn't in your top 5 wrestlers, but he's gotta go. I agree. He's just like, I don't know, like, it's really hard for me to, like, in his shape, it is not believable the people he beats. That's the problem. With his concave ass chest and flat pecs.
That's from being chopped for 30 years.
He does not look like he's gonna beat whoever he beats. It's like,
I need that chick.
There's a reason why I kind of compare him to Hulk Hogan at this point, is because, like, it got to the point where Hogan was out of shape compared to the guys he was supposedly beating the shit out of.
I need that chick.
Hi, Chief.
Hey, Cheevers.
Hi. Say hi to the people. Say hi.
I need that Chimkin. Chief is like, Chimkin?
He probably did come in because he heard you say chicken.
Because he heard me say chicken.
Hey, what's your name? Is your name Chief?
Hey, you boy!
Are you shy? Why are you being so shy for?
You being camera shy, Chief.
Typically, you'll be in the middle of the run and you hear in the background.
Yeah, he didn't want anything to do with Chippendale's Rescue Ranger runs yesterday. You don't like being made fun of, do you, Chief?
He does not. Is your paw feeling alright, buddy, or did you step on a pine needle or something? He's been kind of limping today.
He's mad he didn't get to try that chicken Big Mac.
Ew.
Farting.
Yay, farting!
Why don't you message your sister that we'll get on some fort in like about 25 minutes?
Alrighty, I'll let her know.
Gotta play with the child. My daughter's about to give birth to my second grandbaby here in about 2 weeks. Super, super proud. They steal that chicken? They steal my chicken? These freaking bats are just tanks. This game's definitely an easy game to just mess around with and not spend a lot of time on, like, super, you know, super intently. I mean, it's a good talkie. It's easy to talk to you guys. Wallet. Prediction time. Who's gonna beat Jericho for the title? It just depends. You have to look at who they're gonna be, like, not utilizing in AEW properly and know that they're gonna throw them in ROH to give them more TV time. It's like, who deserves the belt in AEW that they're not giving the belt to? That's who Jericho will lose it to. Usually is the way I look at it. But it's just like, at this point, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's getting to the point where it's being like...
Wait, does Jericho have the AEW title right now?
No, he's got the freaking Ring of Honor title.
Well, that's what...
I think the problem is, like... I don't know. Like, the problem is, it's like when WCW and WWE merged for a little bit during the invasion, and they still had all the WCW belts. There's just too many fucking belts. It's like they definitely seem like props when everybody has one.
They mean less.
So since they're combining the ROH titles,
less when there's more. If that makes sense.
Since they're combining the ROH titles onto AEW TV, it's just like every single person that comes out on AEW has a belt. So there's just no, like, they don't mean anything. So I feel like that's the problem. So I haven't really, like, looked deep on the roster and seeing who needs it.
Hook.
I don't know. If they give it to Hook, it's because they don't want him to go to WWE.
I don't know.
I don't really have my finger on the pulse of it a lot because I've been doing a lot. I've been watching the pay-per-views more than anything.
Also Ring of Honor, and I feel like we've never really kept up with Ring of Honor.
No, only when they see him on AEW TV, then I'm like, oh, okay, that guy's got the Ring of Honor belt.
Was Adam Cole in ROH?
He was back in the day, yeah.
Okay. Because I think one of the earliest Adam Cole clips I saw was something you showed me from Ring of Honor, because that was the first time I had heard of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
I think it was just, I don't know. I think there are a lot of people that they've just not utilized properly, or unfortunately they've gotten hurt.
We just don't need too many titles, and unfortunately, like, if they're gonna keep showing the ROH belts on AEW TV,
I don't know if Top Flight will ever get the belts again. I don't think they have the confidence in them because they both keep getting hurt.
They keep getting hurt, yeah.
It is. I could see them giving it to Swerve. Swerve would be a good pick to be on ROH.
I feel like Swerve would feel like it's like a downgrade, though. I mean,
yeah,
after having
that's true. After having the belt,
yeah.
Yeah.
Swerve's definitely worthy.
Maybe give it some time. I don't know. I still just don't understand why Jericho has it in the first place. It's just to pad his numbers.
It's to pad his numbers because he was the Ocho. That means he had 8 different companies' world titles, and now he's whatever 9 is. He's the 9.
He's a less.
He's the 9-time world champion now. Like he's had 9 companies' world titles now.
He has a less cool name now.
Yeah, the Ocho sounded pretty cool.
He also is like the king of having way too many names.
He likes to reinvent himself, man. When you've been wrestling for 3 decades, you got to have a million catchphrases.
This is stupid.
At least he's not calling himself the Ayatollah of rock and roll anymore.
That is probably the dumbest name I've ever heard for any gimmick.
Y2J wasn't dumber.
At least it's like a reference.
My
Like,
God, no, leave me alone. Like, what am I supposed to do in this case? What am I supposed to do?
Run.
I'm running. I can't find a hole. No. You can't catch me. No, nah. 1332. The learning tree. Okay, guys, I'll give. Here's a little story for you. So I'm not going to tell you which wrestling company I was working for, but I was working for a wrestling company in my tri-state area. And Jimmy Jacobs, the guy that was just the head writer for AEW, was in my locker room. And Jimmy Jacobs was out in the parking lot getting ready to do his wrestling match, and he's sitting in the middle of a parking lot, and he's in a chair by himself, like a steel folding chair, and he's getting his gear outside in the parking lot. Jimmy Jacobs, the Jimmy Jacobs, and he's getting ready for his match, and I go up to him, and I realize, all of his friends are in WWE at this time. So I go up to him, I'm like, hey, Jimmy, this is just a hobby for me, but I know that you've been to places, so I just want to know, why aren't you with your friends? How come you're not with your friends in the big leagues? And he said, he looked at me, and I thought, okay, I'm going to be on TMZ because he's going to stand up and punch me in the face, and here I'm going to be on TMZ for getting punched out by this person that was in WWE. And at that time, he had left WWE. He was responsible for the list of Jericho. Jimmy Jacobs is the one that did the list of Jericho. He's the one that wrote that program for him. So anything that you hear about the list, that was Jimmy Jacobson. So he was in our locker room after that. So he'd really fallen from grace. And I said, Jimmy, well, how come you're not in WWE with your buddies, or in TNA with some of your buddies, or whatever? And I was like, I was ready for it, man. I was ready for him to knock me out. And instead he said, you know what, Brian? The reason why I'm not in WWE or TNA with my friends is at the end of the day, if I decided I didn't want to hit the gym, and I decided I want to hit the phone and call up a large pizza every night and eat that was my to do. So basically saying that he just decided he didn't want to keep himself in tip-top shape, and that was the reason. And so knowing now that Jimmy just got released from AEW, he was their head writer. So it was just funny, man, because I didn't care. I mean, I've met several wrestlers in my life. I've been in locker rooms. I've been in independent wrestling. I'm an independent wrestler, was an independent wrestler manager. And I'll tell you, at the end of the day, I just wanted to know. You know what I mean? I had to know because he was talented. And I mean, I got a picture of me choking him. I can't show you because I'm not trying to reveal my face, but I got to choke him out in the match. Do the whole manager thing where his neck was on the lower bottom rope, and I just jumped on the apron and just bulldog choked him on the ropes. But yeah, man, like at the end of the day, he said I can only blame myself for not exercising more and for eating things I shouldn't eat and stuff. But a really humble man. But now, after hearing the shit that I heard about Jimmy Jacobs, about being in AEW, he didn't want to push Daniel Garcia because he didn't believe in him. I'm like, Daniel Garcia is like one of their best wrestlers. So again, like, where was his finger on the pulse of the product? And apparently, all of the learning tree segments that Jericho's been doing in AEW, Jimmy wrote every fucking one of them. And those learning tree segments were horrible. Horrible. So, Jimmy Jacobs, good luck with whatever you land on, because it's not going to be WWE again, and it's obviously not AEW, but, man, if you don't think that fucking a guy like Daniel Garcia has, like, the talent, when that guy is, like, the Red Death, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, sometimes people they have themselves, like, dialed into what they think other people think works. So therefore, when they look for what works, they look for what the other person thinks works instead of what they personally believe. And I'm just thinking at the end of the day, Jimmy, you should have stood up more for what you thought worked. But if you thought that fucking Daniel Garcia did not work, and you thought that the learning tree segments did, then you don't have your fucking finger on the pulse of wrestling, bud. Like, that's literally where it is. Hello, how you doing? Is it Siraj? Thank you very much for hanging out while we're playing Vampire Survivors. I think we're gonna do one more round. Just do one more round of the character that I didn't play. One more, here we go, just one more. Again, if you're just tuning in, Vampire Survivors, I'm playing this on the Switch. It's like less than a $5 game, but if you have the Nintendo Switch Online program, you are able to download and enjoy this game on a free trial basis for the next week. So it's this game as well as another game called Cursed Golf, and there's one other offering. I'm not quite sure what the name of it is off the top of my head, but this is a great little time waster by a company called Poncle, or a person named Poncle Limited. It was done by one person, which is amazing. I mean, in general, I don't care what you say. You can look at this game and be like, it looks like ass. Well, can you fucking make a game like this? Can you at least make a game that is functional and sellable? Like, this person on their own was able to create a game that's not only playable, but a decent little time waster. I'm not the biggest fan of roguelikes, but in a situation where, you know, it's just like a time attack, score attack type thing, this'll do, man. This'll do. Okay, Siraj, this is free and mobile. Okay, I can see that. I think the main allure for this, as far as like the console versions are, is they're trying to get a little bit more eyes on it before they release the Castlevania DLC, apparently.
And it's probably gonna control better than a mobile game. I literally just despise mobile games because they control so poorly, and honestly, even if you have the newest phone, your phone will be hot by the time
My God, my phone's
playing.
hot just freaking looking on Google. My phone gets on.
So it's like, I don't really know why, like, say for example, why did Destiny believe that they needed to now make a spin-off game on mobile?
That's crazy.
And considering nobody really games like that on mobile. Like,
Yeah, sorry if this isn't super spooky, but I mean, we got zombos and bats and
creepy guys.
skeletons and all that stuff, skulls, you know, all the Halloween fare. Jeez, this mob of bats are crazy. But yeah, shout out to Nintendo for releasing some full demos. Like, when we're talking about demos, we're not just talking about like 2 hours and it cuts it off and says thanks for playing. We're talking about, hey, here's the full game, do as much as you want for it in the trial period, which is, it's a bit risky if you ask me, because like, say this game, you know, I play this game for a week and I was done with it, like, they didn't get anything out of it, you know. But you know, that's the risk you take, especially, I think that they, you know, that's it's an interesting risk, but it definitely allows you to see, you know, the full experience for sure.
Hi, Chief. Hi. Say hi. You can speak.
You speak always.
Speak.
Speak.
Come on, Chief, speak.
Come on. Speak.
Come on.
Yeah. There he is.
You have a beautiful singing voice.
Are you singing now?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a good guy. We give him all the loves.
You getting rowdy? Are you getting rowdy? Really?
What?
Meet the sniper. I definitely like the premise of this though. It's just to see how long you can survive, because like that's an easy metric. So how long did you last? 15 minutes, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like I can really appreciate that. Like, oh, how long did you survive? 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I've never played Team Fortress 2. I'm sucky. I'm that guy. There's that garlic I was told to invest in. Before Dre left, he said, garlic, garlic, garlic. I know, right? I probably should have played Team Fortress 2 by now, but I just am weird. It's only like 8 gig, that's not bad. I don't know, I feel like it's been diminishing returns. I started with the whip guy, which is the first guy that they give you access to, and he seemed like he actually did the best. These all have different ranges of attacks and...
What is your favorite slasher film?
I don't know. Slasher film?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like intentionally watch slasher films, so...
I don't know. But slashers tend to be like the more corny variety, like Friday the 13th.
I just don't know which one it would be.
I'm a big fan.
I don't know, probably
of
Scream.
Yeah.
I mean, probably Scream, because as far as like it goes,
It subverts the expectations.
It creates a new genre of horror movies.
But I honestly kind of hate what it spawned. I don't like all the scary movies and all the stupid bullshit that happened because
they're just supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be super serious. The scary movie ones, like it's like I can deal with the scary movies. I can't deal with all the other parody
I feel like
movies.
the scary movies are kind of homophobic. I guess it is the 2000s, and you know that kind of stuff's much worse. But like, I feel like there's just a lot of homophobic jokes in some of the scary movies, and it's like, I feel like that was the type of humor that was possibly acceptable then. But like, I don't know. I feel like it just is kind of in bad taste. I don't really feel like it helps as much as it hurts, kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I don't really think they're really quality, even in a comedy sense. Like, the mid-2000s parody movie kind of stuff, I guess it just got
The
old.
Wayans brothers did not make every single one of those trope movies. They just made the scary movies. They didn't make all the Not Another Teen movies and all that other shit. Like, that whole
I know,
can of worms thing happened because people were like, oh, bet. Airplane worked back in the day. Airplane 2 worked too. So did Hot Shots and Hot Shots 2. Like, they didn't just start doing that in the 90s.
I think Airplane still does it in a way. Okay, well, like Austin Powers is a parody. I feel like that's a good movie. Like, but it's once it got into the 2000s where I feel like it started to become so bloated of a genre. You know, because even something like Blazing Saddles in the 70s is like a parody film. So it's not like they created the genre, but the amount of direct-to-DVD kind of movies that are like that were spawned in that kind of time period, I guess it's
the same now with superhero movies.
Oh yeah,
like they
bloat.
saw, oh, Marvel works, so let's just bloat it with whatever. Like if you had a comic book, you get a movie. Like it shouldn't be like that. Not every comic book character is interesting enough to have their own fucking movie.
Yeah, that's very true. Some comic.
I'm not trying to be mean, but Black Adam didn't need his own fucking movie.
Nobody knows him as a superhero.
I had no idea who he was until
The Rock
pushed it.
And then it became one of the biggest commercial flops ever.
Yep.
I mean, same with what was that, Morbius? That did very poorly as well, and that's just because nobody really knew the original character that well.
But the same thing with like what's his face's movie, Levi's movie, Shazam. Like that fucking movie is horrible too.
Yeah, it's just kind of campy family.
Like the first one was okay, but like why did that need a sequel?
That's true. I didn't even know it had a sequel.
Yeah.
Or I guess I just forget about that.
It's forgettable. That's because it's forgettable.
Like, it's not bad for a family superhero movie, the first one, but it's still very, like, it's so filled with tropes.
But then we can't take good movies that could use a sequel that were original. Like, why haven't we got a sequel to Mystery Men yet? That's a way more interesting superhero or anti-superhero movie than a lot of movies. It had a decent cast too.
And now, I mean, wouldn't you consider The Boys almost like a parody in a sense, too?
I have no frame of reference to The Boys.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like a satirical parody, kind of blowing out of proportion
Die Mantis.
or like, I guess focusing more on like the collateral damage and egos of the superheroes and like their more negative sides.
Holy shit!
Well, obviously it is its own thing, but I feel like a lot of their things, like there's a lot of spoofing and parodying to like real world people and events in their characters. You know, I feel like it's obviously not like it's definitely its own thing. But I feel like I don't know. I mean, I've only watched the first season of Vid-Bits anyways. I was just reading comments. But yeah, I mean, I feel like parody is such a wide genre, but I always just target that really corny 2000s parody, and I'm like, I could deal without that. Same with, I mean, but you could say that, like you said, about superhero movies. I think romance movies.
We can
Shit,
think
you take the whole Hallmark Channel. I mean, that's just something within
if
itself.
9/11 never happened, we wouldn't have the decade of Marvel movie shit that we ended up getting. That was literally because everybody needed hope to hold on to, and superheroes was the easy answer. It helped patriotism. It helped make you believe in something that wasn't as awful as what reality was. And then all of a sudden, we just got sucked into it. Like, I'm not saying that it wasn't happening back in like the late 80s or early 90s with, you know, Batman coming out and everything. Like, it was really Batman and Batman Returns. Like, that was the beginning of it. But like, it staved off for a while. After that, it was like, okay. I mean, because we had come off like Superman movies, and then like after Christopher Reeve got paralyzed, they kind of let go of that. But it's just like, I think superhero movies are great if I feel like the character is relatable or whatever, but like, we were all as a nation, as a world, were hoping that this Marvel Cinematic Universe was going to have the culmination that everybody believed it should have.
Endgame was such an event that I literally almost pissed myself in the theater because
trying to get through a 3.5 hour movie or
because
whatever.
I felt like there was
it seems like I'm dying like exactly around 13 minutes, 13.5 minutes.
It felt like there was no place to really take a bathroom break until, you know, I eventually just went. But it was like, I about pissed myself because I thought the theater was packed, and I thought it was that big of a deal that I'd be missing a moment of this movie. Like,
alright guys, thank you very much for hanging out for this installment of the Vid-Bits Spooktober. We had Dre stop by at the beginning, who was pretty knowledgeable about this game, as well as Game and Train. Thank you very much. Manny the Mormon as well. I appreciate you. Manny the Beaver but Woody. Hopefully your beaver costume comes soon enough. I mean, Halloween is really close, so hopefully you'll get that in the mail so you can go walk around and act like you're working at Buc-ee's. And thank you very much, Siraj. I appreciate you for some of the heads up about the game. I didn't know it was on mobile, but thank you very much for hanging out. And yeah, that's sad that Chris Jericho beat Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World title, making him a 9-time world champion. And I mean, trust me, the day that Chris Jericho beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin the same night and won the Undisputed title was one of the greatest nights of wrestling. I just didn't think that I'd be, like, wanting to see, like, my... And then again, Chris Jericho feuded with, God, what was his name? The guy that was in the movie The Wrestler. Mickey Rourke. He feuded with Mickey Rourke over that movie The Wrestler, and the movie's all about a wrestler that's not willing to hang him up. So, like, it's crazy. That's just sad. I really wish that that wouldn't happen to Mark Briscoe, but it is what it is. Maybe it'll just be to pad the numbers and he'll get it back soon, and that's what it is. But again, thank you so much for hanging out, guys, as this was the 23rd episode of Vid-Bits Spooktober. We only have one more week left. We only have 31 days in October, so 7 more of these, and hopefully you guys will hang out. Manny the Beaver, I have a conference call, so to speak, I have to get on with my daughter, or I would be willing to take that phone call. I might be available to take a phone call later, like around 11:30 or 12, whenever I'm done hanging out with my daughter. So, appreciate you guys very much, and until then, it's been Pops, aka Brian from the Vid-Bits. Good gains, good goals, and good RNG, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you, especially you, Manny the Beaver, but Woody. Really, I hope that your beaver suit comes, because, you know, you want to be all beavery. But you guys are the best. We have the best community ever. Thank you guys so much. We will see you on the next one. Until then, good gains, good goals, and good RNG, guys. Peace. Man, gotta do some beaver shit. Gotta do some beaver shit. Again, not paid sponsorship, but if you guys like this game, it's available for free download for a whole week trial on Nintendo Switch Online, so Or according to Siraj, it's a free mobile game apparently. So check it out. It defeated a total of 161,616 bats.